Tuesday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Tuesday, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for 13 minutes of our time, of our day. We do it together. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say hi, say hello, drop a comment. Be sure to invite someone and tell them what we're doing. Yay! This is now the second week of 2019. Yo, this is like beyond amazing. Beyond amazing. Simmer down. You know me. I'm just getting my captions and stuff ready. You know, I'm having issues with going live on Instagram. Hold on. I want to make sure. Oh, we're there. We are live. There we go. All right. IG is on. IG is on. Wonderful. We are on episode 78. Can you believe that? 78. 78, and I'm calling this one very easy. This one is called self-control. Control yourself, Lisa. Control yourself. I like to say calm down. Calm down. Calm down. All right, I'm just getting the captions ready. Can you believe it? We are on episode 78, and doing amazing things. Amazing things. Okay. All righty. Say hi. Say hello. Hey, LaShonda. Hello. Good morning. How are you? I'm feeling great. I really am. I'm feeling wonderful. This episode is called Self-Control. I am continuing our series from Dean Tel Sesto, 200 Ways to Improve Our Life. It's called Shift Your Thinking. So you've guessed it. He's talking about 200 ways. We will have 200 total episodes. I got Dark Prince on the IG. Say hi, say hello. Welcome if this is your first time. That's going to bug me. Let me just do the Shift Your Thinking here because I don't like when captions are like super big. I think that's very distracting. Ta-da! There we go. Self-control. Last week we talked about marital problems. Did anyone apply that to their relationships or are designing their relationships? Did that apply? Did it resonate? Taking responsibility for yourself in your relationships. It's your relationship. You should be taking responsibility of self. So self-control, I'm in the section where he says self-control is nothing more than managing life from the inside out. Self-control, he says, is like weight training. I'm flexing on you. I need to continue to do my workouts. He says, exercise it and gain some emotional muscle. Oh, I love that. Emotional muscle. I love everything about that. Emotional muscle. He says, whether you believe in the Bible or not, he says, there's a verse that suggests it's not what goes into a person that defiles them, but what comes out of them. Then we call this Shift Your Thinking, transforming your inner experience to phenomenal outer experience. Don't I say this every time? Right when we open up the show, I set the tone of what this is about. This is about that transformation. Hey, Landscape Larry, good morning. Yes. So, Antoine, now that you're on, I realize, yes, I am late, but right on time. I am late, but right on time. So the author continues. He says, one aspect of what goes into a person is that during life, we will take it our fair share of deception. We will take in our fair share of deception, verbal assaults, and betrayals, meaning we will intake a variety of letdowns. Anyone been let down before? Yes. Right. And really, there's something else happening when someone lets you down, or when you perceive the letdown, or when you perceive the disappointment. I'll come back to that. He says, and betrayals. There's also something else happening when you are perceiving betrayals, right? And being crossed, because people really are just being themselves, who they are. We tend to project expectations that, oh, if I'm this way, then you should be that way. But people are showing you exactly who they are. They are being themselves. So if they say they're a liar, they're a cheater, they can't hold water, those types of things, they are who they are. You just got to know who they really are. So it's not necessarily a letdown, a disappointment, or betrayal. Anyway, I'll come back to that. He says, meaning we will intake a variety of letdowns, and they will come from friends, family, coworkers, and strangers. This is true. This is true. But when these letdowns show up, he says, we'll have one of two options. Listen up. Option one, maintain our emotions and govern life the way we want. Self-control. Because the only thing in reality you can control is self, Lisa. Hey, 24K, is self. That is the only thing you can control. My setup is different today on this. My thingy broke, so I can't put you up here next to the camera. So I don't mean to. I'm like shuffling between two cameras right now. We are on, by the way, we are on Self-Control, episode 78. Self-Control, if you just chimed in, be sure to tag someone and share. We are talking about emotional quotient, EQ, far more important than IQ, which is the intelligent quotient. The intelligence quotient is far more. Your self-control, your control of your emotions. Your control of emotions, guess what? We are having a very profound, I would say, revelation for those of you who are chiming into this docuseries that's happening and triggering your emotion. It's triggering your emotion. There's a whole bunch of emotional people on social media right now. Woo! All right, so that was option one. Option two, he says, give our life to someone else to control how we feel. That's exactly what's happening on social media. You have given your life to someone else so they can control how you feel. Thank you, LaShonda, for sharing. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. Did you guys see my I love you post? That's why I shared the I love you post, because I wanted to counter all what was happening. If you haven't heard it for today, by the way, I love you. If you have not heard it for today, I love you. You are needed. You are appreciated. That's why I did that. I act out intention, y'all. I'm not out here so haphazardly. I act from intention. And that's what I put out into the universe to combat that you guys, those of you who have chosen to participate in this, have relinquished your control of emotion to someone else. Didn't even realize you did that, did you? It's okay. We can learn. He says so too. One, I'll recap. One, maintain our emotions. And we talk about when we perceive letdowns, betrayals, you lying, cheating, whatever. When we are perceiving that, because I just said, they are truly just revealing themselves to you. I want to give you hearts. You're like, we love you back. It is your perception of the letdown, the betrayal, the disappointments. Because why is it your perception? Because I just said you have the control of self, of how you are going to govern your response. He says, number one, how do we respond? Two options: maintain our emotions and govern life the way we want. It's my life. It's your life. You have the ability to still control that. Or he says, number two, give your life to someone else to control how you feel, influence your state of mind, and govern your existence for a time. I don't even like the way that sounds. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't want to give control of my emotional self or influence of my mind to someone else. So why do you let social media do it all the time? That's why film is so powerful. Let me just drop a real gem real quick as it deals with manifestation and law of attraction, visualization. Whenever I want to activate a manifestation and I want to speed it up, I go watch a movie on the big screen. Why? Because the film does not exist without your observation. The film has no emotion without you putting emotion into it. Mind you, the techniques they use are sound and visual effects. Why? Because it is activating your senses to bring it to life. You are bringing it to life. You are the producer of that film. You are the true producer of that film. Your response, because when we hear people give reviews of films and movies, it is your response of that. Because a film, and shout out to Thomas Brown, Tom, a film, and I have to, it's so funny if he's still on, if you're on, he's a photographer. Very powerful people. Those who have a gift of sight. Photography, he who controls the vision controls the history. Antoine says, much love back to you and for everything you do for the people. Thank you. 24K Levi gave me some love too over here on Instagram. Thank you. Thank you. I receive it. Photography, film, very powerful as we're talking about self-control. So I just shared, if you want to accelerate a manifestation, go watch a movie and activate the emotions. Activate emotion and tie it to your manifestation. I'll let you marinate on that real quick because that was like the answer to everything. How do I do what I do? That is the answer to everything. That's a technique that I have done for years. Which is why I don't watch any kind of movie, by the way, because it will activate certain response. This is me controlling myself. If you dictate to your child whether they can watch a certain movie or not, you are protecting their mind, their emotion, their inner space and peace. Why don't you do it for yourself? Don't just do it for the babies. Do it for yourself. I'll continue. The author says it's an important choice to make because as we get older and become less tolerant of these things, others inflicting their own brand of stress and breakdown on our lives will not only increase, it will compound. That's exactly what we see happening. How timely is this episode? That's what we see happening is a compound effect of trauma right now because you have participated, if you participated in witnessing trauma. You have activated it within yourself, which means you compounded the effect globally. This is why I dropped on my timeline that I love you. Because some of you decided to participate. Some of you, like myself, are on a mental diet and are very intentional on what you put in your mind, your body. This is so timely. Wow. This is truly timely. All right. He says, so if you'd like to reduce the repercussions and gain strength in this area, the first step is to hold every person or situation that upsets you as a provision to practice self-control. Woo! Wow. You mean that you now have to take self-inventory? You have to check yourself and ask. And that is a very higher awareness of self, to say to self, why am I upset? Am I upset at the person? Am I upset at the words? Am I upset at something it activated in me? Self-awareness. Keyword, he says, being practice, because nobody owns self-control, and it's not a trait we typically master, nor do we aspire to. As I concluded that sentence, I was reflecting when people are like, hold my earrings, get me the Vaseline. People are ready to box. Self-mastery is practicing the self-control. We will begin to see that its long-term value, he says, but as we exercise self-control, we will begin to see as its long-term value far outweighs the desire to remove control out of our actions for a brief moment. LaShonda says self-awareness is key. Absolutely. Self-awareness is key. Self-awareness is key. You should already know what the CTA is going to be this week. CTA stands for Call to Action. You will know what the CTA is this week already. I'm getting to it. We're going to get ready to wrap this up. He says so rather than burn bridges, you become better at building them. Ooh. Rather than burning bridges, you become better at building them. Go figure, through self-awareness. Instead of inducing stress into situations, you usher in a calm, a hope, and a maturity that rubs off positively on the offending parties. Shout out to my sis, Rabe. Be sure, y'all, to sign up for the Spirit of Business course that Ra and I have collaborated to bring you the tools, to bring the gifts, purpose, passion, spirit together. Spiritofbusinesscourse.com. Registration's now open. The early bird price ends January 18th, which is fast approaching. It's already 10 days from now. Get your spots. Get your spots, because we are just, I know you see it. I mean, if you don't see it with all this craziness happening in social media, the political arena, the economic arena, position yourself. Pete, position yourself. Now's the time to do it. Practice, he says, will never make perfect here, but perfect isn't the measure. More peace. Oh, wait, let me go back to that. He says perfect isn't the measure. More peace, prosperity, and potential for progress are the measure, y'all. That's a great way to end this segment of Shift Your Thinking. Look, be sure to sign up for the spiritofbusinesscourse.com. It's, I'm going to throw it in the caption here, spiritofbusinesscourse.com, for those of you who are seeking to be motivated, staying motivated, having an attitude of positivity, increasing production and profits for self, not just your company, but for yourself. So I love what I do. Even as we are on the eve of a recession, I love what I do. Even as we are on an eve of a recession, I love what I do. All right, you guys. I love you, love you, love you. Have a powerful and productive week. Oh, the CTA. Not only do I want you to register for the Spirit of Business Course class, do that, please. But also the CTA for this week as well is take a moment and practice the self-awareness. Ask yourself the question when someone upsets you or triggers something in you. Is it you or is it me? You will oftentimes find it's within you. There's something being triggered in you. And it's so fun to do it. It really is. Self-mastery, it really is. Why? Because then you start to really come into your full potential. All right, you guys, that's my time. Be sure to connect, build, and share. If you're on YouTube or have a channel, subscribe to my channel and add to your favorite playlist. We have 3 active playlists: the Spirit of Business, which comes on Sundays with Ra, and the Shift Your Thinking Tuesday, and the Ready Set Real Estate show on Wednesday. You guys, love you, love you, love you. Have a powerful and productive week. We'll see you next week on episode 79.